Welcome back to Spring into Math 7. I'm Mrs. Campbell, and today we're going to be talking about expressions and the distributive property. Let's get started. So the distributive property tells us that when a factor is multiplied by the sum of two numbers, we can multiply each of the two numbers by that factor and then add them. Now, if you learn through words, and I've said this before, that might make perfect sense to you, but some of you might need to see it written out. So let's do that. So the distributive property tells us that if we have A times B plus C, it is the same as if I multiply A times B and then add it to the product of A times C. So let's take a look at this with actual real numbers. So I have 5 times 2 plus 3. Now the distributive property tells me that I'm going to distribute or give that 5 to both the 2 and the 3. So 5 times 2, which is here, and 5, I'm now going to distribute the 5 to the 3, which is here. And then my plus sign just moves over as well. And the product should be the same. So 5 times the sum of 2 plus 3, the sum of 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 times 5 is 25. Now let's see what's happening on the other side of our equal sign. 5 times 2 is 10, and 5 times 3 is 15, and if we add those two numbers, 10 plus 15 is 25, and those are equal. So 25 equals 25. And that is essentially what our distributive property is. Now, sometimes you're going to see algebraic equations. So let's read this quickly. Algebraic expressions can involve numbers, operations, variables, and sometimes even exponents. You can still use the distributive property if you come across algebraic expressions. So let's take a look at what that might look like. You've got 4 times b plus 3. No problem. Just distribute the 4 to the b and the 3 and add. Distribute the 4 to the b, as I've done there, and then the 4 to the 3, as I've done there, and then move your plus sign over, and that's it. Just think of it as distributing the 4. So we can also use the distributive property when we are evaluating expressions, when we're trying to solve. Let's see how this works. If I have 7 times 2 plus 3, using the distributive property, it will be easier for me possibly to solve than to do it the way it's written initially. So I have 7 times 2 plus 3. So I'm going to distribute my 7 to the 2 and my 7 to the 3 and add. Actually, let me multiply first. 7 times 2, 14. 7 times 3 is 21. Add the 2 and I get 35. It's actually pretty simple. Okay, interestingly, the distributive property works for subtraction the exact same way that it works for addition. Let's take a look at this one. The distributive property, when we're subtracting, essentially we do the same thing, we just use the subtraction sign instead of the addition sign. We're going to distribute our 3. If the question is 3 times 3 minus 2, we're going to distribute the 3 to the 3 and the 3 to the 3 to the 2. And we're going to move our subtraction sign over, multiply 3 times 3, that gives me 9. 3 times 2, that gives me 6. Subtract 9 minus 6, and we get 3. And voila, that's how the distributive property works for subtraction as well. All right, guys, that just about wraps it up for the distributive property. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.